So y'all, let me tell y'all about my shift yesterday. I'm burning sage, and I got the incense burning. So yesterday, I went to a facility. That was like my third time going to that facility, and up there, I'm on the same floor that I had been on before. I'm working, whatever. First, when I first came in, I was like, I talked to the receptionist. I was like, look, did this other nurse come in? He was like, no. I said, anybody else come in from that floor? He was like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm the only one here. Okay, boom, I'm the first one here. I get up there, I'm like, is anybody here? I'm still like kind of waiting. Like I didn't really take a report from anybody. I'm just kind of just like, around. And I see the other nurse is still busy too. I'm just kind of chopping it up with her. And then I'm like, ain't nobody up here? I'm like, nobody here? And I'm calling around, talk to the reception. I'm like, who's here? Who's doing staffing? Oh, I don't know. And they gone. They not here. They been gone all day. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? What is going on with these shenanigans? So, anywho, finally get a hold of the administrator over the entire building. And I'm like, look, like, what's going on? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where the person's at. I'm like, dude, no, who's running this show here? Once I realized nobody was running the show, I was like, oh, so I'm going to have to, like, be that nurse today. Okay. You know what? Let me take this off. I got to be that nurse. So let me go. Thank you. Let me switch over. Okay. So I got to be that nurse today. Okay. Once I realized that, okay, I know what I need to do today. So basically, I told the girl that the day shift nurse, I was like, look, they playing games. Nobody know who doing staffing. Everybody giving me different numbers at this point. Somebody saying call the person who's supposed to be doing staffing, not even in the facility, y'all. The person who's supposed to be doing staffing is working remotely to make sure that there's enough staff in the facility, but you're not here to see if there's enough staff in the facility. Oh, yep. That make a lot of sense, don't it? Woo, that make a lot of sense. So, anywho, I'm like, okay, I'm not taking this assignment. I'm not. So I go ahead, I leave off the floor. I'm calling around, letting the girl know who is supposed to be doing the remote staffing. I'm talking to her, finally get through to her, tell her like this, hey, what you gonna do? And then we going back and forth. Boom. Finally, she tells me that somebody's supposed to be coming at 3:40. I'm like, okay, so is this person actually coming? She's like, yeah, she coming. She coming at 3:40. Okay. I say, you know what? I am that nurse today, but I'm still going to be here. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm here. Like, let me just write it out. She said the person coming, like, I'm going to still have a good day. We're going to make this happen, take care of these people, and go home. Okay. So, which I really should have just left and did a late start at another freaking agency, and I would be sitting here with my money right now. But that's neither here nor there. That's what I should have freaking did. So, anyways, I'm still sitting around, get the report. I'm waiting for the other nurse. They keep saying the other nurse gonna come. So I said, let me just focus on the side that I know I'm gonna be working on. No matter if there's another nurse or not, this is my side. I have assumed responsibility of this side of the unit. Mind you, the reason why I was upset is because they wanted me to work the rehab unit. This is not even a nursing home. This is a subacute facility. So this is kind of like a smaller version of a hospital. Even more, because the layout, the way it look, everything. And they got elevators, all of that. And the elevators is so slow and old, y'all. It was like, that was like a trap. The elevators was a straight trap. That, I'm not getting on them elevators no more. Them elevators was like, not for me. But anywho, because they was so slow. It's like you didn't know which one. It was a mess. Anyways, I digress. So, they wanted me to work this floor, like the rehab unit of a subacute facility. I had about 19 patients at the time. In a nursing home, you can have like 45 patients and still be like, okay, I'm going to do it. It's a lot, but I'm going to do it. Here's the thing. Here's the kicker. I was going to have 19 patients. All of this is basically rehab. So it's like some of these people got behaviors, all of that. And this is in the city. So it's close to these bigger hospitals where you got different demographics, all of that. Anywho, I'm working over there. And there's no med tech, so there's nobody passing out medications. So I'm the nurse and I'm the person passing out medications. And on top of that, I only had one aide at the time. I was like, I will not be your nurse today. That's why I walked away. So anywho, I come back, I get a report, whatever. We good, the count's good. The girl said, hey, I'm gonna still be here because I'm working on a different floor. I'm going to go down work on 3. She was like, I could just stay up here. But she was like, you know what, let's just follow the schedule. I'm going to go work on 3. I said, okay, cool, whatever you want to do, because I could go work if you don't want to work. Because I said, evidently, nobody here is doing the schedule. Nobody here is running the show, so we need to run the show. That's basically what I told her. Like, whatever you want to do, I'm here to do it, because nobody here is scheduling. Nobody is doing their job. So once I realized that, I was like, psh. First, I was trying to follow protocol and all that. And then I was just like, y'all is trash. So let me just do whatever I need to do to cover me. But the rest of y'all is trash. So that's that. Anyways, I'm working. The other nurse keeps starting to come. The other nurse. Because yesterday, the same thing had happened with me. The day before that, something had happened as far as another nurse coming. Nobody was ever came, and I was the nurse over there by myself. But at least I had a CMT. So this had already happened the day before. I was like, and I was so mad that that shift had already been assigned to me, because I was literally about to take myself off the schedule, but they had already assigned me the damn shift. I was like, man, I do not want to work. I don't want to come back to this facility. But that's when I had to go yesterday, because I didn't want to cancel my shift, because I don't like canceling shifts. Like, I think that if you're going to pick up on agency, just work it. Don't leave them high and dry, because they already high and dry. So I like to honor that. Even though I'm a nurse hoe, I told you I'm a nurse hoe, there's certain still codes to my nurse hoism. Nurse hoism. So yeah, whorism, or nurse whoring, you know. So anyways, yeah, it's so early in the morning. This is my moon water. It's Florida water. I turned it into moon water. I got this sage from the citrine goddess here in St. Louis. She's growing the sage, and she gave me this sage that she had, and I've been burning it. This got water in it. This was my full moon bowl. I did a full moon ritual. Yeah, like, I'm just vibing out here. Look at my tomatoes. Got my mint, my incense, got my agua, and we out here chilling this morning. So yeah, that happens. Yeah, this has already happened. It's not even like dinner yet. People ain't even had dinner yet, and all this crazy stuff is happening. So anyways, I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna be the nurse, I'm gonna take care of it. So I just start focusing on my side. Girl, tell me why the nurse that was supposed to come, she comes up there, she finally there. I'm like, okay, bet. You here, you ready to work? Boom. She said, do I got to count? I said no, because, and then on top of that, it's so unorganized. I'm not even going to go into detail about that, but I had all the narcs on my card. She didn't have no narcs on her card. I had the narcs for the entire floor, so even her patients was on my card. I don't like that. You have your narcs, I have my narcs. Our narcs don't touch each other. They don't mix. They don't mingle. Okay? This is your narc section. This is my narc section. I don't like having the narcotics all together like that. But anyways, but it was cool. I got through the shit. So she comes or whatever. Then she looking at her phone. She said, she sent me a text and said, go to the 3rd floor. I said, she sent you a text and said, go to the 3rd floor. I talked to her and I said, I was staying contingent on you coming to work this floor. So what do you mean? She said, what? So I'm like, nah, that ain't right. And so she's like, no, I'm about to call her. So she calls her and she's like, look, am I supposed to be working this floor? Mind you, like I said, the person that's doing staffing is not in the building, but okay. That makes a lot of sense to it, but moving right along. Just moving right along. So I just can't believe that the person who's doing staffing is not in the building. Like, that just baffles me. Like, that makes absolutely 0 cents. Like, $0 and 0 cents. Like, I don't see how all of y'all came together and nobody realized like that was stupid. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it works for them, but it don't work for me. But to me, it wasn't working. That's just my opinion. Moving right along. So, what was I even saying yet? Because I was so still baffled that whole day. Like, this is ridiculous, y'all. This is not how it's supposed to be ran. That's why I can't be in nobody else's facility, because I am going to complain the entire shift. I'm going to read it for filth the entire shift. And I don't have time and energy to be sitting here critiquing y'all all goddamn all day. Like, I don't want to do that all day. I want to be in a facility where at least it might be a few things that's crappy, you know, but I can handle it. But there, it was like thing after thing after thing after thing. I end up getting all the medications for the entire building, signing all of these dang on medications, and then delivering them to each floor. I had to go to each floor. The freaking elevator kept closing on me. I couldn't get so the dang on narcotics was not the narcotics, but it was no narcotics. If it was narcotics, I would never took it. But it was just like basic pills. They locked up. They freaking going on the elevator. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm trying to deliver this stuff because nobody came down to pick up their meds, and the dude just sitting there like, which I gonna do. There's no receptionist up there to call people overhead. Like, this is just trash, y'all. It was trash. So the girl, basically, she ended up going to the 3rd floor. So here I am with no freaking nurse again and no CMC. So I'm like, dang. I finally get my stuff done on my side. I'm like, I still need to go do some stuff on their side because there's no nurse over there. So I go down the longest hall on their side, and I look at all the patients that I could that was actually there. I did all I could. The other nurse that went to the 3rd floor left this man a hot freaking mess. I was like, why would she leave him looking like this? So me and A had to get him together. It was just horrible. So, but at the end of the day, I really can't blame nobody because that facility is it's not being ran well. It's just not. I'm gonna just put it, it's just not being ran well. And if you only have agency staff, if most of your staff is agency, then what do you expect? What do you expect? Most of your staff hasn't even been trained on your computer system. Come on now. Most of your staff maybe haven't even seen what management even look like in this facility. So, amongst everything else that's going on in the world, this healthcare stuff is real, y'all. They not showing it though. They not showing what's actually happening in healthcare, and it's funny. It's like you know it, but it's just like the way it's being represented is just not. Yeah. Anyways, you just got to be in it. That's why I feel like another nurse entrepreneur from Reflections by Zaina, she was saying like nursing is like a sorority, and it is. It's like I felt like I was being bullied at this facility. I'm not one of them nurses. It's like they're bullying me, they're making fun of me. Nothing wrong with them type of nurses because everybody is sensitive in their own way. You know, like everybody like got trauma and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I've been bullied before in my life, like badly. But you know, you live. You learn, you live. So I felt that way, but I was like, you know what? I'm not about to let nobody just talk to me any type of way. So I just kept talking. I kept standing up for myself. But not everybody can do that. And I felt like, especially do it and still do your job. Because the way they was talking, because finally another nurse finally came after that nurse left and went to the 3rd floor. Finally, the other nurse came. And she had the worst, most trifling attitude. I swear. I was trying to get this girl a report. And she started talking on her phone to somebody. And I'm like, bitch, I'm trying to give you a report on this side. Like, I don't know what they told you, but I've been up here by myself. No CMT, no nothing. And I'm agency. On top of the fact that I was literally walking out of this facility and I brought myself back in here. Yeah, I was not going to have nobody up here. So, come on now. But I stayed and did what I needed to do as a nurse. I assumed the responsibility of the floor, and I did what I had to do. Most stank attitude. I'm trying to tell her stuff. It's just, she was just like, I'm like, what are you doing here then? Like, what the hell are you doing here? But I just kept it cool because I was like, I'm going to focus on my patients, take care of my patients, make sure my patients are good. And that's what I did. So at the end of the day, no matter what nobody say, I saw every last one of my patients. I talked to every last one of my patients. Every last one of my patients know my name. I had on my name badge. I talked to them. I looked at them. I helped them. I did something for them. I asked them questions. I got things that they needed. I was somebody's nurse. Okay? And that's what you need to realize. These facilities are gonna give you task after task after task. They're gonna throw you so many curveballs. They gonna knock you upside the head. They just gonna talk to you dirty, look at you dirty, not even talk to you, talk over you. I had the administrator, this nigga talked over me, yes. And I called him nigga, yes I did, I don't care. This little Sean, whatever his name is, I'm putting the name out there and everything. I don't care, I don't even know his name. But this little prick, I told him, like, he's gonna tell another person something to tell me, and I'm right there in front of him. So I didn't even listen. I was like, I'm not acknowledging any of this because you're not acknowledging me. That's like that subtle disrespect. That was subtle. That's the real shade what he did. So I just was like, okay. Didn't even have to say nothing to him. Didn't say nothing to him. I felt the vibe, so it's cool. And for no reason, all because I told y'all in the beginning of the story, I said, remember I called the administrator and I was like, I told him, I said, what do you expect me to do in this situation when there's no staff up here? And I'm the agency walking in on this. What do you expect me to do? I expect you to just call them and you do the administrator. But I didn't even fight it. I was like, okay, what's the number? He gave me the number. I called, nobody pick up. I'm like, okay, nobody's picking up. Finally, I called a receptionist again. I'm like, hey, dude, what's going on? Like, y'all I don't know. I was like, this is some BS. Why am I staffing your facility? I'm the agency nurse. I'm supposed to come here and you tell me what to do, and I just do it. I'm not supposed to come here and become super nurse. Oh, no, honey, y'all ain't getting super nurse rates. I'm that nurse today. I'm that nurse. I tried to get y'all super nurse, but then y'all end up getting that nurse. So I'm not doing anything. But then I end up helping out on the other side. And my thing is, the staffing person was like, oh, we got 2 nurses coming to help out. I'm like, what do you mean help out? That's what I'm thinking in my head. Like, I didn't want to go. I was so tired of going back and forth with people because it was just so much. I was going to be fighting with everybody at that facility. Because it was just too much stuff that I was like, this is stupid. What is going on here? But it was so chaotic. Like, it made me feel more chaotic because it was just so much going on. I couldn't be organized. Like, I had to go. I'm looking for tea bags for my patient. He wants tea bags. I'm looking for them. I'm looking for ice. I got to go all the way down here, then the elevator, then y'all ain't got nobody coming to get these meds. And it was just so unorganized. But you know what? Like I said, at the end of the day, you go in, you do the job, and then you keep it pushing. I'm not going back there. Then this other nurse, oh my gosh, y'all, this video could keep going on. This other nurse, I don't even want to talk about it no more. This other nurse, as I'm doing report, she's trying to, basically, she knew that place is a hot mess. She was a night nurse. I was giving her a report, whatever. Me and her had an exchange during the report, but I just let it go. I was like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. I'll take care of it. And I just let it go. I let it roll off my back, y'all. I let that shit roll off my back. Then I came back with the jab, I guess. There was this agency nurse that came up there. She was like, they told me to come up here and work with you. And then the lady was like, no, I don't need anybody up here. Remember I told you, they got horrible staffing. So the older lady that I was giving a report to, the night nurse, and the reason why I say older lady because I felt like she knew what she was doing. But anyways, it's something you will only see with certain type of nurses, and I'm not trying to discriminate or nothing, but it's just some people, they just got this certain attitude that they feel like they could just act any type of way. When they say like nurses eat their young, like them hoes do. Them hoes be hungry for it, you know. It's okay. I'll let them eat, okay? If they want cake, let them eat cake. They say nurses eat their young, man. So I the person was like, yeah, they told me